Joy Cometh broadcast. It's a journey process. Yes, grief is a journey process. It's not an overnight thing. I'm so glad that you tuned in to today's broadcast because we want to go into another important key thing that we believe will help you in this journey process. On today's broadcast, we want to talk to you about how to handle the unpredictable. Yes, how do we handle the unpredictable? Yes, grief is unpredictable. Yes, in other words, it can hit you at any time. When I was going through my time, it would hit me or come on me while I was in my office, sometimes while I was riding in the car, even while I was in the pulpit. I had those moments where it would just hit. Or, I could be amongst family and friends, or even in a public place. So how do we handle the unpredictable? Because grief is unpredictable. It can hit you at any time, unexpectedly. Yes, so you will experience, hear me good, outbursts along the way that shows up unexpectedly. They will appear at any time. There are times I would just wake up in the midnight hour, go to the restroom, and bang. So how do we handle the unpredictable? How do we handle the unpredictable? Because grief is unpredictable. So one of the first things that you must do, and I want to deal with this, to minimize the things that can trigger these outbursts. Let's start with number one. Start off by limiting the number of family events that you will attend, especially in the first year. Yes, let your family member know why. It's okay to say no. In other words, don't be afraid to address the elephant in the room. Yes, if you are not there, it's okay. I had to limit some of the family events that I would attend, especially in the first year. This is key to being able to manage or minimize the triggers that you would face. This is one key ingredient on how to handle the unpredictable. Number two, managing anxiety and stress. Wow. This anxiety and stress that I want to address you on today's broadcast is due to the fear of the future or anticipation of the future without your loved one. Now you recognize that you must go on with life without that loved one. And when you have that anticipation or dealing with that fear of the future, then it can create anxiety and stress. See, when you begin to dwell on it, it brings on stress and anxiety. So how do you handle this? Let me tell you, you must take one day at a time. Amen. Stop trying to process that far. Yes. Focus on the present. I had to learn to live in the moment. Amen. And not think that far. It's not time for you to think on those things. So just take one day at a time. Live in the present, in the moment. Number three, this is very important. Creating new routines, and activities. I had to even change some of the things around in the space that I occupied. I had to change some things in the house, change some things in the respective ministries that I pastor, change some things in my office. Yes. And then I had to create a whole new schedule of life. Because in my case, my late wife was a part of my everyday schedule in life. So when I would wake up, it was certain things we did before we left the house, went to the office together, went into our separate office, ate lunch together, came back home. We did so many things together, and it became a routine. And so as I started my life without her, I had those unpredictable moments happening on a continual basis. And I realized I had to change some of my routines. I came up with a whole new routine to my life. Yes. And there are some things I did that I always wanted to do, that I never got a chance to do. In other words, they became the new activities in my life. Even what I'm doing right now, taking this time with you. I've never embarked upon this before, but now I have something new that I'm doing. Do you get the point? And these things, getting a new routine in my life, taking upon some new activities in my life, helped me to deal with the unpredictable, to minimize those triggers in my life. And then number 4, which is the last thing that I want to park at tonight, and that is to count your blessings. You have to count your blessings. Like they say, and name them one by one. This will bring you into a state of being, grateful. Listen to this statement that I'm about to make. You see, gratitude is the healing of the soul. Do you hear me? Gratitude is the healing of the soul. It's the quality of being thankful. In other words, it changes your whole outlook to life. When you have an attitude of gratitude, being thankful, these are key ingredients, key things that will help you to handle the unpredictable, to minimize the unpredictable. Yes. You see, once you minimize the triggers, you're able to handle it better because they will come. So I wanted to take today's broadcast and share with you the keys to how to handle the unpredictable. Yes, grief is unpredictable. So I want to share with you once again, if you have not purchased a copy of my book, it's my personal journey on how I went from grief to gratitude, called The Unexpected Journey. Yes, it took me about a year to write it because I'm literally taking you on my journey. So I'm very raw about things that I share and various emotions that I had to overcome. You want to purchase your copy. The information is on the screen. It's out on Amazon, and you can purchase your copy today. The Unexpected Journey by yours truly, Ronald Hardy Sr. I want to thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast, and I want you to stay tuned to the next broadcast. And remember, joy cometh. Be blessed.